All right, today's show we're reviewing the Powershot SD1300 IS. Very nice little camera, point and shoot from Canon. It's not too crazy or complicated, and it's not too simple. It's right in the middle. Features a 12.1 megapixel sensor. Very, very nice. It's actually got a 4x zoom on there. Really, really nice little camera. Does just about anything you want it to do. I'm going to go ahead and set the time here and show you. And it does so with a great amount of value. It's at a really good price, and the type of photos that come out of it are exceptional. If you're looking for a camera that's going to give you kind of the images that look like they're maybe coming from a slightly larger camera, from maybe a DSLR or a larger point and shoot, it does that, and it does it well. So I'm going to give you a quick tour first of all. Start you off up here in the front. There is your lens. It's a 4x optical zoom. It goes from 28 to 112 millimeter. That's the 35 millimeter equivalent. The actual lens is 5 to 20 millimeters, but you know, with the equivalency of a 35 millimeter camera, it's 28 to 112, so that's pretty good. You also get an additional 4x of digital zoom. That's going to lower your quality of your images and your video, but it's going to let you get out there. Now, you also have the built-in flash right up here in case it gets too dark and you need some assistance, but this lens does feature a maximum aperture of f2.8 on the wide side of the lens, so that's very, very fast. It goes all the way up to 5.9 at the full 112 millimeters, or the 20 millimeter actual. So it is pretty good in low light. It's going to give you really nice images in low light. It actually goes up to ISO 1600. So if you have the desire to go ahead and shoot in very low light, you can automatically set the ISO to 1600. Now, hitting the info or the function button there is going to give you all these different features. Program mode, which kind of gives you somewhat manual control of the camera. You're going to see that I have my choice of ISO. Again, it goes all the way up to 1600, which is not going to give you the sharpest picture. It's going to give you kind of a grainy image, but it will give you some really good low light sensitivity. Automatic white balance, or you can manually set it to whatever you want: cloudy, shade, tungsten flash, etc., etc. My colors kind of gives you a vivid colors, neutral colors, sepia, black and white, etc. To kind of give your images a little bit more pop, make them a little more interesting. Down here, the different types of metering. You have evaluative, center weighted, and spot metering. So evaluative is kind of going to look at the whole scene and figure out what the exposure is supposed to be. Center weighted is going to make it like it's all the same. It's just going to get everything, average it out, and then give you that exposure. And then spot is going to take the exposure off of the exact middle of the camera. Wherever you point it at, it's going to give you that exposure. So if you have a dark subject because he's severely backlit, and you go ahead and point this at the subject's face, he's going to brighten up and the back is going to get really, really bright. Now, over here you have single shot and continuous. Now, just so you know, it will shoot about 1 frame per second continuous. So it's not the best to catch fast-moving objects in sports, but it is really good for landscapes and snap shooters, as they call them. And then finally, over here, you can pick your different image sizes all the way down, as well as this really cool wide feature, which is going to give you a 4000 by 2248 pixel image. So very wide and looks extremely, extremely cool. Now, just so you know, also over here you do have a specific selector switch. This is going to let you get into video mode, let you get into photo mode, and then the full auto mode. So if you don't know what you're doing, you just want to crank it into auto mode, put it there, take photos, go like crazy, and you shouldn't have any problems. If you want to take a little bit more control over your camera, put it into program mode, and then you can choose your ISOs and your white balance and all that stuff manually, or you can leave them set to auto. It's really up to you, but you can do that from this mode as well as from the regular auto mode. You also have a dedicated playback button that's going to let you see all your images. Over here you can mess with your macro settings, turn your flash on and off. Over here you can do exposure compensation, and then down here you have a dedicated delete key that also works as a button to control your timer, which gives you 2 options of 2 seconds and of 10 seconds. And then finally back here is the display that's going to toggle what type of information is shown up on the screen. Now, this is video capable, so it does do MPEG-4s in the AVI format. So if you want to do that, you can do that as well. The LCD, in case I didn't mention, was a 2.7-inch LCD display, and it does record down here at the bottom to either SD or SDHC, and an MMC card will also fit in there. So a multimedia card will also fit in there, making it extremely versatile. Depending on what type of media you have, you may not have to go out and buy a new card. You might be able to use the one that you already have And there you have it. Very nice little camera. Really good for a beginner. You want to buy a camera for your kids, for your grandma, or you just want something that you can throw in your purse or in your car. This is a great little camera. It's the SD1200 IS. And in case I didn't mention it, the IS stands for image stabilization. That means you're going to get less blurry images because you were shaking. So when you're trying to get one of these while you're walking, they're going to come out nice and sharp. There you have it. If you have any questions on it, feel free to email me. I'll see you guys next time. For more information on the Canon Powershot SD1300 IS, type in C930-1720 into any major search engine.